Alright, world, we're going to take on Mr. Andy Bailey, Dan Vale, Bleacher Report article of the top 100 players in the 2019-2020 NBA season right here. So this is everything that's happened the first 60 or so couple games before quarantine hit, as well as with the coronavirus. So let's jump in this article. Of course, I'm going to give my take and reaction, and I want to see how these two authors kind of collaborate on here. I've read a couple articles in the past with Dan Vale. I don't like any of his work, what I've seen as of right now. Andy Bailey, I came across one of them from this week, and it seems like he's more, kind of moderate, but let's see what they have here. So their top 100. Before I kind of jump into here, I know there's a couple of injuries, so that I'm not going to put on my list for this season. So, of course, everyone knows about Stephen Curry, Kevin Durant, Klay Thompson, Victor Oladipo, John Wall. And I think there's just a couple other ones, but we won't highlight on those as well. So I'm going to leave them off my list, of course, to make things as part of it. So jump into here to the injury players. So let's see, DeMarcus Cousins, of course, KD. Yeah, you can put Blake Griffin because he missed a later part of the end. Luke Kennard, Oladipo, Thompson, John Wall, Marvin Bagley. Yeah, okay, perfect. Yeah, we pretty much got it. Let's see who missed the cut. And when we're going over the top 100, I'm going to be pretty lenient on, if you're like in the 90s and such. I don't go that deep into where I really care and evaluate, that deeply. But if something really catches my eye, of course I'm going to jump into here as well. So players who didn't make the cut: Harrison Barnes, Mikal Bridges, Brandon Clark, Dragic, Dorian Finney-Smith Jr., George Hill, Joe Harris, Rashawn Holmes, Julius Randle. Yeah, I guess that seems everything that's fine. So let's start here from 100 to 96. Dante DiVincenzo from the Milwaukee Bucks. Yeah, congrats to him. He's a young cat, and he's getting better, and he's he can play a six-man off your role as well as a starting shooting guard. But he is very young. He's had a great season with them, as well as his three-point percentage. It could use some work as of right now, but in that Milwaukee Bucks offense with, I forgot what their head coach, the guy who used to, Mike Budenholzer, used to coach Atlanta in 2015. Same recipe for success, so hey, kudos to him. TJ Warren, okay, kind of starting off as it is. He's a great six-man. As a small forward, he can be able to get his own shot off, let alone pull up J mid-range. So he's been kind of in and out as it is. So Derek White kind of going down. Wow, I'm surprised they put Duncan Robinson at 97. I thought he'd probably be, I got to see who else is on the list, but he's had a great season. He was in the three-point shootout. Kudos to him. He's a pretty much, sniper when it comes to on the floor. And I like what the Miami Heat are doing with him and Tyler Harrell and that young foundation, let alone with their veterans. And he's 26 years of age. People pretty much think if he's a rookie or anything like that. No, he's 26 years old, and he's been balling right now from three. So kudos to him. And I think he's going to be a free agent, so he's probably going to get a big contract. Maybe, at most 10 to 15 million, somewhere around that ballpark, depending on the new CBA deal. OG Anunoby from the Toronto Raptors. Okay, I'm cool with that as of right now. Let's kind of skip these a little more. So Karis LeVert. The bad thing is, whenever Kevin Durant and Kyrie come back, he can't really exhibit his full potential in game. He's really gonna have to become more of a 3-and-D type player, and he can be able to shine on his own accord whenever he plays with the second unit time to time. But he may get traded in the offseason. Watch out for that. Davis Bertans, sniper as well. He shoots over 40% from deep. Very underrated player. He's had a great season, let alone from last as well. Surprised the Spurs gave him up because he is pretty young, in his high 20s. Danny Green. I would not put Danny Green over OG Anunoby, as well as there's one other player up there. But Danny Green, he's been okay. Whenever you're playing in the LeBron James system, you have to be pretty much a stand-alone shooter, and that's what it is. I know he'll only average around, I don't know how much he's averaging a game, probably I would expect from 6 to 8 points. But in LeBron's system, very predictable. It's not a lot of ball movement when it comes to the Lakers. you know, you'll have there's been some moments in highlights where they've had the ball movement attack, but LeBron pretty much brings up the ball, and everything's just stagnant, very predictable. But Danny Green, when he's ready, he'll be able to knock it down. So I'm cool with him. He has a high impact, let alone championship experience. So I feel good if he's on your team. Marcus Morris Sr. started off the New York Knicks, and then now he got let go. Clippers picked him up. Perfect fit. They needed a power forward. He was more fluid and 3-and-D. He's had a very good, dramatic season, so kudos to him. Mitchell Robinson, yeah, no, he's been a great young cat. So, yeah, I'm kind of fine with these right now. I mean, I'm not going to go and tick-tack when we're in the 90s, you know, really talk about it, but kind of go a little more gentleman here. Marc Gasol, the Toronto Raptors. Okay, yeah, he's great for them. He does have his contract being expired, so let's see what he does in free agency. I think he'll probably leave them. Probably get paid to go another contender, because they're not going to be championship contenders anymore, unless they bring like a DeMar DeRozan. Clint Capela, yeah, he started off very slow with the Rockets. Back in the playoffs from 2019, they didn't utilize Capela back into the pick and roll, let alone anything, because Harden would literally just bring up the ball, dance for 20 seconds, pull, and then, you know, do a step back, pull up, contested three, and throw himself on the floor. And he did that consistently. That's another reason why the Rockets lost. And they literally, they had no team offense as well. Everyone was just standing, watching Harden look like a clown out there. But yeah, that really denigrated Clint Capela and players like Chris Paul off the ball, who nothing to do. But I'm glad that he actually got moved to the Atlanta Hawks. He can finally exhibit himself as a true center, let alone being that fast pace with Trae Young and the crew. Kudos to him. Andre Drummond with the Cavaliers. I think he's gonna have a big year next season. He did opt into the Cleveland Cavaliers for $30 million. So good on his part. He's gonna get paid. It's guaranteed, and he can be able to pretty much just ball out and then get paid to join another team the next offseason. So he's in a great position as he is. Too bad in the first couple games with Detroit wasn't working out. We already knew the writing was on the wall. Hassan Whiteside with the Blazers, pretty much forced in the position to play all those minutes because Nurkic and Collins, everyone was hurt. But I mean, he's okay. I think Whiteside's overrated, but that's just me. Cool with this. 86 Lou Will. Wow. Great six man. Let's keep going down. Jarrett Allen. I'm surprised they put Jarrett Allen over Lou Will. I think with Kenny Atkinson being let go and Kyrie and KD have their own plan to pretty much retool and destroy the team and bring everything else completed for them. I thought if they joined the Knicks, it would have been easier to set up, but with the Nets, they already had a foundation, but it is what it is. I think Jarrett Allen will be let go. Robert Covington, yeah, he's had a great season. They moved him to the power forward position, and now he's on the Rockets, and he fits perfectly to the James Harden system of things. Kelly Oubre, devastating injury, man. Miles Turner. I think Miles Turner should be higher, probably in the 90s or 100s. He's been terrible whenever he starts alongside and plays with Domantas Sabonis. Upon that, Al Horford. I'll probably have to put Al Horford probably in the 90s or 100s. Ever since joining the Philadelphia 76ers, you've seen a decrease in his game and his role. He doesn't fit with that team, let alone as a starting power forward. Tim Hardaway Jr., man, he's been electric these last two seasons with the Mavericks. He was on the Knicks from time to time. We saw potential, but it wasn't there. I think the Mavericks is a perfect position to where he can shine on offense, but he doesn't have that responsibility of potential and a burden on him. So that's kudos to him. He's perfect. I think he's a perfect six-man for any team. He has been starting as a small forward, small ball with the Mavericks, but they've been looking good with him. Kudos to him, man. Kind of going down a little more, guys. Evan Fournier. Yeah, he has a contract going to be expired. Draymond Green. I may have to put Draymond Green a little more up because he played terrible whenever Steph Curry, Clay, and everyone was hurt. And Draymond's a great player, but he needs to be surrounded by them. That's what made him who he was. Joe Ingles, okay. Jaren Jackson Jr., he's got a good future. He needs to pick it up more. In the 70s, Jonathan Isaac. You got PJ Tucker. I'll put PJ Tucker more in like in the 80s, 90s to 100s. I don't think he should be up there. Aaron Gordon, man, Aaron Gordon, he needs to work on his game. I feel like in the offseason, all he does is just dunk, work on his vertical. There's a lot of stuff. I think with him, if he increases more of his speed, he should play a small forward position. Kind of be like a Kuzma Tatum type, to where you can be able to pull up for mid-range jumpers, pretty much be ball dominant. But he likes to play the power forward position, kind of being forced to with Steve Clifford on the team. And I just don't like it how it is. But Christian Wood, yeah, no, very underrated player, especially on the Detroit Pistons. I mean, the Pistons are pretty much hot garbage, so he's not getting much spotlight, but he has great potential. Patrick Beverley at 70. I thought he would probably be a little lower, but let's see here. Yeah, Beverley, man, he's a beast when it comes to the Clippers, championship aspiration, and he's a pit bull. I want to go a little further here because it's been a couple minutes, but I want to get down to the main thing is Dejounte Murray. Yeah, he gets the playing time because they're young. Buddy Hield. He's going to have to look to get a trade away from the Kings. I mean, he's getting paid over $100 million for 5 years on the extension by Vlade. Hey, it is what it is, but 69, not a bad pick when it comes to him. Dennis Schroder. Yeah, dude, he may be sixth man of the year. Dennis Schroder's really picked it up. And I loved him whenever he was on the Atlanta Hawks. Not as a starter, but he was a sixth man in 2015. But, you know, he's in that Reggie Jackson, Terry Rozier phase to where he thinks, you know, he should be a starting point guard. And he's not, you know, he doesn't deserve to be. But I think he'll join one of the lower bad teams that don't have any All-Stars. And he can just start for them. But they won't make the playoffs. But, man, yeah, joining the Thunder, man, being a sixth man, he's just kind of like, Reggie Jackson with the Thunder as a sixth man back in the day. Kudos to him. Valanciunas, I'm not too crazy about his game. I don't think you should put him as 67. I think he needs to be more higher in the 90s. Devontae Graham, yeah, man, perfect opportunity for that young pick. Derrick Rose, I thought he would probably be a little lower. We'll see who's below him. But Derrick Rose, electric season, man. He's finally looks like he's injury free. Knock on wood, and let alone as he's playing, he's finally starting for a team, getting over 20-25 minutes a game, and hitting a couple game winners. His confidence is back. D Rose is pretty much 80% to what we saw. So that's kudos to him. That's still electric. Bogdanovic, I would have Derrick Rose over him, but is what it is. Perfect from the field. Tobias Harris, big contract. Will Barton. I wouldn't put Will Barton this low. I'll put him higher, like in the 80s, if anything. Just a quiet season with the Nuggets as coming off the bench. Ricky Rubio, great impact with the Phoenix Suns. This Phoenix Suns are hot garbage, but Rubio brings that veteran presence. Same thing with the Utah Jazz. Kudos to him, man. Derek Favors, no, I wouldn't put him 60, man. I would not put him in this range. Hey, I mean, I don't like him with the Pelicans, especially as a starting center. He's a weird cat to be on different teams. He really doesn't do that much, just a big body. But I guess people are finally noticing that. Montrezl Harrell, 59. I'm surprised Lou Will was like 70 or 80 and Montrezl is 59. But Montrezl Harrell will get paid. He's going to get the bag whenever he's in free agent. But yeah, perfect 6-7 man on your team. He's probably going to start if he signs with like the Hornets or something like that. At 58 with Brook Lopez. Wow, I'm surprised they put Lopez this low. Hey, veteran starter for any championship team, but I wouldn't put him there. Steven Adams, very underrated itself. Looks like we're getting a little more deeper into here. Lonzo Ball, 56. A lot of potential on the road. I would actually put Derrick Rose over Lonzo as of right now. Not potential, but Serge Ibaka at 55. Yeah, I'm cool with that. Marcus Smart, 54. Okay. I'm surprised they put DeMar DeRozan at 53. I know with the Spurs, they're not going to make the playoffs, and he was forced in a position now to where they have young cats and a few veterans. A mix that does not, a team that does not mix at all. Because they have no playoff contention, let alone they're not any contenders. So why are you going to put those big contracts and those players together? But he's going to leave in free agency. But no, DeMar DeRozan should be a top 30 player in the NBA, not number 53. No, sir. Paul Millsap. Yeah, you should not put you do not put Paul Millsap over DeMar DeRozan. Paul Millsap, he's probably going to leave with the Nuggets. He is going to be a free agent. I think another team will probably offer him more money, and he's going to walk. I think his experiment pretty much is over with those 3 years in Denver. No, I would put Paul Millsap more in like the 60 or 70s. Kevin Love, 51. No, that's a joke. Kevin Love is a glorified Ryan Anderson 2.0. He's been overrated ever since he's been on Cleveland. I thought the Cavs should have traded him after they won the championship. After the Cavs won the championship, I was watching the game. Once LeBron was holding up that trophy, I was clapping, I was happy, but then I was like, all right, you got to trade Kevin Love now. You're done. And he's been non-existent, even worse, ever since he's been here. I don't know why he's still with the franchise. They actually extended him for another 3 more years on his contract, so is what it is. There's no reason why Kevin Love is over DeMar DeRozan. Kevin Love needs to be like 70 or 80. What we got here? LaMarcus Aldridge. All right, so we're starting to put it here with San Antonio. Yeah, I would actually put DeMar DeRozan's better than LaMarcus Aldridge. I know Aldridge is having, still a good season because, the Spurs don't have anyone else to go to. We have a bunch of young cats. DeAndre Ayton at 49. Wow, I need to look more into this list. I think that's a little too high, but yeah, dude, he's having a dominant season. I know everyone's kind of focusing on Trae Young and Luka, but DeAndre Ayton, give him a couple more years, man. Yeah, there's a stat, man. He's alongside with Shaquille O'Neal when it comes to his progression. I'm excited about him and the Suns. Well, not the Suns in general, but what him and Booker could possibly do. You need a third option on that team. If not, then you're going to have to blow it up or something. Really, bring in some young cats. Malcolm Brogdon. No, Malcolm Brogdon should not be in that position over DeMar DeRozan. You can debate with LaMarcus Aldridge in that range, but I would not put him over DeAndre Ayton. But, he's having a great opportunity. He's starting with the Indiana Pacers. And, a great pickup on their side. The Pacers aren't going to do anything but be a middle-of-the-pack first-round exit. But still, 16 points a game, 7 assists. I think he's like 6'3", 6'4" as a point guard. So, yeah. Jamal Murray at the Nuggets, he's always progressed. I remember his first season, man. He was doing terrible. He could not make any shots. We thought he was a bust. And then he just turned it around out of nowhere. Kind of like how Trae Young was, but Trae Young took it on steroids. But yeah, kudos to him. It's crazy. It's already been his 3rd season here. But yeah, he's progressed. 19, 20, 21 points, slowly but surely. Very similar within him. I would like to see him really work on his game more. Just always addressing more of your handle, let alone, dribble, pull up, 3-pointers, if anything. But yeah, we'll see with Jamal Murray. They may move him to the 2 in the future. We'll see about that. Spencer Dinwiddie with the Brooklyn Nets. No, I would not put him this high. I know with some garbage time, Kyrie's hurt. He's be able to step up. We've seen that before, but no, he should not be 46. He should probably be in like the 60s or 70s. D'Lo, 45. Yeah, because, yes and no. He joined the Warriors. He was put in a weird position and spot playing the 2, let alone it's not his game. Then they had to let him go. Or they brought in G League players. He was just playing and they were losing. They were expected to lose. And then he was traded to Minnesota. So we can't really evaluate too much. But we know he has the potential. Like last season, he was a top 35, 40 player. But now you probably have to put him like 50 or 60 because of his situations. But, it is what it is. Zach LaVine, dude, he's having a great season. Not on the winning side. They got to fire their coach as expected. I would put Zach LaVine probably top 50, top 60, not on the 40s right now. Gordon Hayward. I'm surprised I put Gordon Hayward's had a great comeback season to come back here. But besides from Gordon Hayward, I don't know. I'm not sure about 43. Fred VanVleet. Kudos to him. John Collins. I wouldn't put John Collins this high, let alone Fred VanVleet. Eric Bledsoe at 40. Nah. All right, so we're getting more real right here. Kristaps Porzingis with the Dallas Mavericks. Yeah, definitely a top 40 player in the NBA, averaging around 20 points a game. He was injured a little bit, but he's back where he is. Gallinari, yeah, man, he's having an explosive season, man. As being with the Oklahoma City Thunder, everyone in that team, man, he's having a great season within them, as well as everyone else on the Thunder. I wouldn't put him as a top 40 player in the league, but for this season, I'll give him those kudos and the credit to that. All right, Nikola Vucevic. I think he's a tad bit overrated. I wouldn't put him as a top 40 player, probably top 50, top 60. let alone. But yeah, I mean, the thing with the Magic, they're going to make the playoffs, probably a 7th or 8th seed, and they're going to sneak in once again. But with them, I think he made one All-Star appearance last season. I think he did. Yeah, I think he did, but I don't know. I don't really see too much crazy potential with him there. De'Aaron Fox, top 40. Yeah, man, the cat has a lot of potential down the road, but the thing is, it stinks that he's stuck with Sacramento. Sabonis, yeah, I'll give him that. He's had an electric season, first All-Star appearance. Kudos to him. I didn't think he would progress this way, let alone the Thunder didn't, and they traded him to the Indiana, but him and Miles Turner cannot coexist. Ja Morant at 34. All right, so I'm going to be interested who they put ahead of Ja Morant after this. Electric season, man. Amazing rookie season. Fairly similar. Gives me kind of vibes from like Donovan Mitchell in his rookie season. But kudos to him, man. Okay, so I would not put CJ McCollum over Ja Morant, even let alone right now. Ja's potential, let alone being kind of neck and neck in the overalls. But I would have Ja Morant over CJ. I think you're going to see a digression in CJ. I think he may get traded. Keep an eye on that. Yeah, Donovan Mitchell, 32. I think he would probably be more top 25, but we'll see who's ahead of him. I mean, Donovan Mitchell, his rookie season was electric, man. I mean, beating the Oklahoma City Thunder as a rookie against Russell Westbrook, and he'll get him back in the playoffs as a top 4, top 5 seed. Hey, kudos to him. I know sometime he had to play point guard position, and the Mike Conley experiment didn't work. So they're in a weird process right now, but they're fixing things up. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Yeah, you can put him over Ja Morant. I'm cool with that. Great electric season, man, as a starting shooting guard, combo guard, alongside Chris Paul on the team. Man, the dude's been picking it up. He's around 6'5", so he's a great combo guard that can play either off the ball or on. And yeah, I'm cool with that right there. Jaylen Brown at 30. I wouldn't put Jaylen Brown over Ja Morant. Maybe Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, neck and neck. Nothing too crazy about it. I'm gonna be more, kind of more stricter in the top 15, top 20. Zion Williamson, 29. Yeah, Zion's had an amazing 17 games that he's played. They've had a winning record. They're about to make the playoffs, hopefully. His shot is really down with his three-pointers, and he's giving you an easy 22 points a game, man. 8 rebounds, over 50 to 60% shooting, and man, it's crazy, dude. Brandon Ingram, yeah, I'm cool putting Brandon Ingram over Zion. Brandon Ingram, first-time All-Star. We finally seen the green light and emergence from him, because before you had LeBron James over the show with LA that he couldn't really expose himself. But kudos to him. I need to see more playing time, let alone how many games Zion can play and how he will be. I think Zion will be consistent, but yeah, him and Brandon Ingram right now are like neck and neck. So kudos to BI. 27, Devin Booker. Yeah, you can put Devin Booker over Zion right now. I don't have a problem with it because he has more tenure in the NBA and we've seen more from him. But again, neck and neck. I'm fine with that. Booker's always been there. He needs to get out of Phoenix. I don't trust Phoenix. They're not going to make the playoffs next season, and he's already been 5 seasons with them, and they never won over 25 games, or they never won over like 27 games in a season. No. Bam Adebayo. Yeah, you can go that way. I mean, if you were to tell me right now, I would say Zion's a better player, but since with Zion's been injured majority-wise, I'm cool putting Zion in that position. I would not put Drew Holiday at 25. Call me crazy, I would actually put Drew Holiday at least in the 60s, in that area. I don't like him with the Pelicans now, since they have a young group. He's a fine player. I think he needs to lose more weight. I think he gained too much. If he were to lose around 10 pounds, he would be more quicker. Especially at the beginning of the season, he looked very... He didn't look quick at all, and it was very easy for guards pretty much to shadow him. He couldn't really get anywhere when it comes to it. I'm unsure how much he's averaged this season, but no, if you were to tell me top 25 players, no, Drew Holiday is not in that mix. No, sir. Kemba Walker, 24. Shout out to him. Amazing season with Boston. I was unsure about whenever they signed him, but they got everything clicked together since Kyrie's gone. They have their own foundation. And he did start in the All-Star game, first time appearance, being a starter. So, hey, kudos to him. 23 with Trae Young. All right, it's getting real right now. Trae Young, he's an All-Star starter. I think you would actually put Trae Young around top 15. Top 23, I guess he was ahead of him, but no, Trae Young's having an amazing season. He just needs to get more on the winning. I think the Hawks, they have enough cap space. They can be able to add maybe a DeMar DeRozan or just other players alongside him. But yeah, that's on this side here. I would put him over Bradley Beal. That's just me personally, but is what it is. 22, Russell Westbrook with the Houston Rockets. Beginning of the season, he was deferring to James Harden. It was his team, but now he's really cranked it up and pretty much put the team on his back, and they're playing a better way. He's not shooting a lot of jumpers. He's actually deferred it to where he'll just drive in and kick out or just go to the rim and score. It's been a great season for him at the very end. Bradley Beal, I would not put Bradley Beal over Russ, let alone who was the other cat here again? Let alone with Trae Young, I would not do so. Bradley Beal has the green light. They have trash players. He can give you 30 a night easily. He had a couple games back-to-back 40-point games, but the Wizards aren't winning. They're not going to make the playoffs, and that's what it is. He can't be a number one option, so I would put him top 30, but not as number 21. Kyle Lowry, no, I would not put Kyle Lowry 20. I'd probably put Kyle Lowry in the top 35. In the top 100 players when it comes to it. But he had an amazing last season. This season's been pretty good. I mean, he's still back to the number one option, and they're still winning, but they have a great foundation. But I wouldn't put that. Kyrie at 19. Okay, a lot of people have been hating on him. He's been injured for majority, and they haven't really been winning. So I would actually, for me personally, I'd rather put like Trae Young and some of these players. If you put him over Kyrie for this season, I'm cool with it. I would justify it. But Kyrie's all over the place. I mean, he is inconsistent. And, he's averaging, 27 a game on here. But, they have a losing record whenever he's the quote-unquote man. Rudy Gobert at 18. It's weird with centers here defensive-wise. It's hard to really rank them. But we've shown that he is always top 3, top 5 in Defensive Player of the Year awards, and as well as first team All-NBA when it comes to him. So kudos to him. I wouldn't put him this high. I would put him top 25, but not at 18. Pascal Siakam. Yeah, I may put Trae Young over him. I know they're kind of neck and neck when it comes to it. Pascal Siakam did make the All-Star team. Trae Young did start, but I'll probably have to put Pascal top 25, top 30, but I wouldn't put him at number 17 as of right here. But hey, kudos to him. Paul George, he's now playing shooting guard with the Clippers. He was hurt for the first 15 games or so with the Clippers, but now he's been very effective. Field goal range 50%, and from threes hovering around 40% alongside it. Because now with playoff Pete, Kawhi can do all the work. There's not a lot of stress on his side, so kudos to him. At number 15 with Ben Simmons. Man, Ben Simmons is all over the place. You can have him like 25. I'm cool with it. If you have him 15, maybe 15. I think he's kind of overrated, Ben Simmons. He has a lot of potential, of course, but I don't think he really wants to reach it. So he's very nonchalant and chill. He needs to pick it up. But let's see how the Sixers perform with him in the playoffs. Karl-Anthony Towns at 14. No. Cat should be around 25 in that area, not number 14. He's going to have the stats to back it up on this case, but he's on the Timberwolves with no other players on their team. He has the green light. They're losing, and he needs out of Minnesota. I know they acquired D'Lo. They need to trade them both out. Chris Paul at 13. Yeah, I'm cool with CP3 in the top 15. A electric bounce back season. Not really a bounce back, but people were hating on him after the playoffs unjustifiably. He does have a big contract, but James Harden pretty much threw Chris Paul to the side, and James Harden was just step backing threes and just ruining the team. But with CP3, he joined the team with the Thunder. Everyone thought they weren't going to make the playoffs. He led them to a number 5 seed as of right now, and he went back to being an all-star. and he has had an amazing season. Kudos. Joel Embiid at number 12. Yeah, maybe I was going to think maybe top 10, but if he's from 10 to 15, I'm cool with it. Joel Embiid. Jimmy Butler's gone with. The pressure is back on him being the number one option for their team. And he's had a great season. I mean, it's still the similar 23 points a game, 12 rebounds. And it looks like they bumped him up to around 30 minutes per game. And he's been playing some back-to-back, so not really as much load management, but he'll prosper. So Jason Tatum at number 11. Yeah, no, this is a good pick. Tatum's picked it up a long way, man. His consistency is the X factor for me, and he's picked it up, especially for these past couple of weeks whenever the season almost ended for Jason Tatum. He can give you 27 a night easily, let alone, I think maybe in a season or two, he can probably average around 28, 29 points a game throughout the whole season with it. And we still got to remember, there's no Steph Curry, there's no KD, so, this is why Chris Middleton is number 10 right now. So I may put Jason Tatum ahead of Chris Middleton because Tatum's the number one option. I don't think Chris Middleton should be number 10 as top 10 player. I would not put Chris Middleton over Joel Embiid. I would not put him over Jason Tatum. I would not put him over... There's a couple cats over there. I would not put him over Trae Young. So Chris Middleton should be more in the 20 ranges. I don't know why they put him number 10. Great season, first time All-Star, or I think second time All-Star, my bad, with the Milwaukee Bucks. He gives you easily around 20 a game or so. And within that, I mean, let's see the reason why they have here. Correspondence, outside the arc, beyond that. Offensive nerve center, navigate minutes. Yeah, I mean, it still doesn't justify him number 10. Number 9 with Jimmy Butler. Butler's in that class to where I'm fine if you have like Trae Young over him, but I wouldn't really go there consistently yet because Trae hasn't made the playoffs, so I want to see how he performs as a number one option to lead a team. But with Jimmy Butler, yeah, I'm fine with him putting over it. I really didn't think too hard here to where I would think he's a top 10 player. I know for sure top 15 or top 20, but you do have a couple injuries this season, so. But I would put Jason Tatum over Jimmy Butler. That's just me personally, man. I don't think Jimmy Butler is really a number one option for a team. He's prospering with the Heat, but they're going to lose in the first or second round. But if you really want a number one option, I'm talking about players who can take you to the second, third round consistently, let alone the finals contending. Anthony Davis at 8. I'm surprised they put him this high. I actually would probably put 80 around number 6 or so, or 7. Not a big difference, but 8. They probably have like Jokic over him and some other players. But when he was on the Pelicans, he can give you stats easily. You can take you to the playoffs once every 3 seasons or so. They'll get bounced in the first or second round. But he's a beta. He's not going to be a number one option. That's why he joined LA under LeBron's spotlight, and AD can do his thing as well. But ever since he's adjusted his role as a number 2 option with the Lakers, we've really seen a better side of him. And I mean, and again, last season I always had him like number 8 in that mix as well. So he's still pretty much the same position. Damian Lillard at 7, no. Damian Lillard, actually, I would probably put him in the top 15, or let alone probably like 12 through 8, kind of in that mix. I really have to think hard about that. But Dame Lillard, man, he didn't have a good start to the season. He'll still give you around 30 a game, which he's cool with. But, man, if you're the number one option, man, I know they had injuries for Nurkic, some of their bigs, but they're not going to make the playoffs. And that's a big hit I put on him. How really valuable are you if you didn't make the playoffs? And you're in your prime at like 29 years of age. So, no, he should not make the top 10 in my list here. I don't think so. I would probably have to put him around like 9 through 15 or something. I'll have to look more into that. But no. Nikola Jokic at 6. That's very high. I wouldn't put Jokic at 6. I'd probably put him around 8 through 12, if anything. I mean, he still is the number one option for his team. I think it's more of him and Jamal Murray as the core leaders. So I don't really have Jokic as the number 1 guy per se. It's more like 1A, 1B. But hey, he's lost 30 pounds. I really want to see if he plays like Porzingis or what type. All right, top 5. So for me, what I have in my top 5, and this is I focus more on the top 5 than top 10 on the list. Top 5, I have number 1, I have LeBron. Number 2, I have Kawhi. And LeBron and Kawhi can be interchangeable if someone has it. I have them more 1A, 1B, which I'm cool with. So LeBron, Kawhi. At 3, I do have Giannis Antetokounmpo. Number 4, I do have Luka Doncic. And number 5, I do have James Harden as my number 5th. Luka took over the league by storm, man. He was in the MVP race for the first couple weeks or so. He's been very consistent with the Mavericks. And they're around 2 games from the 4th seed. So let's see how the season plays out. But I put in Luka over James Harden. He's had a better season, man, impact-wise as well. The Rockets have had some hiccups along the way, and Harden's been kind of inconsistent when it comes to it. But if you have Harden over Luka, I'm not going to make a big deal about it. But I have Luka over him, so they probably have Harden 4. Yeah, I would put Harden 5, Luka at number 4. And then number 3, they have Kawhi Leonard. Wow. No, Kawhi needs to be either number 2 or number 1 as the greatest player. He just won a championship, let alone he beat the Warriors. I know some of them were hobbled from games to games, time to time. But Kawhi did his thing. He took down the Sixers. He took down the Milwaukee Bucks with Giannis, let alone there was no LeBron James at that time. So Kawhi is pretty much this is his era. He was a free agent. He was the number 1 free agent everyone was looking at. He joined the Clippers. They came from an 8 seed to now championship favorites. You got to put Kawhi. He's low managing, but still, he prepares more into the playoffs. LeBron at 2, and then they got Giannis at number 1. No, sir. Giannis is a regular season player. He's going to perform in the playoffs. He needs more experience to go deeper. If this article is based on just like on season, but not like best players, then no. But LeBron is the greatest player in the world. You do have Giannis at number 3 in my slot. Whoever wins the championship this year pretty much will get the crown. So it's either going to be LeBron, Giannis, or Kawhi. Because either the Clippers, Lakers, or Bucks will win the finals. No doubt about it. But not a bad list at all. Pretty similar when it comes to it. Like to go over all these players and their situations and stuff. But no, my top 5 is LeBron, Kawhi, Giannis, Luka, James Harden. And then after that list, probably kind of the top 10. Well,